Los Angeles Superior Court, County of Los Angeles. People of the State of California versus Rakim Mayers. Case number BA 508142-01. We, the jury in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Rakim Mayers, not guilty of
Cannot get the audience. Or you cannot get the audience.
Another motion on offers and you can't speak.
Hold it down. The verdict has to be read on count.
I'll repeat again. We, the jury, the above entitled action, find the defendant, Rakim Mayers, not guilty of semi-automatic firearm in violation of Penal Code Section 245, subsection B, a felony is charging count 1 of the information this 18th day of February 2025, jury seat number 9, courthouse.
All right.
Title of court and cause. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Rakim Mayers, not guilty of the crime of firearm in violation of Penal Code Section 245, subsection B, a felony of charging count 2 of the information this 18th day of February 2025, juror seat number 9, foreperson.
During this trial, I watched you periodically. You did what we asked of you at the very beginning, which is to give both sides a fair trial, pay attention, use your common sense, apply the law, and base your verdict on the evidence. I know you took extensive notes, and you took this as seriously as any jury could. We cannot have jury trials without folks like you. So you certainly have my gratitude. I want to extend to you my best wishes. Again, thank you. The admonition to not discuss the case no longer applies. You can talk about the case with anybody if you want to, or nobody if you don't want to. Alex has your certificates of completion. You can take your juror badges with you. Thank you again. You are excused.
Everybody remain seated in the public. We're going to let the jurors walk out first.
Not guilty. ASAP Rocky going home tonight to be with Rihanna and the kids. Not guilty. He was facing decades behind bars. It may not be a murder trial, but this was a life-changing moment for ASAP Rocky. On video with a gun in his hand, but the jury said not guilty. Let's listen in.
All right, the jury is left. The bond is exonerated. Mr. Mayers, you're excused.
Back row.
It's done. Yeah.
Wow. It's difficult to put into words that moment, but I think the reaction to that moment that we saw inside that courtroom tells the entire story. The entire story of what happened inside that courtroom. ASAP Rocky, in that moment, he doesn't know if he's going home or if he's going to prison for 2 decades. He doesn't know if he's going to see his children grow up or go home and maybe order a pizza. Now he knows the answer, and that was joy. Then you saw the reaction of his attorney, Joe Tacopina, and him. There's a lot of pressure that is put on everyone, especially in a case like this that is a little suspect to begin with, right? It's not a mountain of evidence. There are a lot of problems along the way. And I think Joe Tacopina, because I know him, probably felt a lot of pressure to win this case, to win this trial, because of the nature of it. It's not Melanie McGuire. It's not a DNA case. It's something a little bit different. So to see the reaction and the jubilation in that moment, I'm just going to ask folks in the control room if we can re-rack it and play it for everyone one more time. Let's take a look.
what we're going to do, folks, is Deputy Bennett is going to give the verdict forms to juror number 1. Juror number 1, I want you to look at the verdict forms, and I'm going to want to know whether these verdict forms reflect your true and correct verdicts. Juror 2, I'd like you to look over her shoulder so you can review the verdict forms. And we want to know from you whether these are your true.
So as we replay this verdict for you, this is the part, this is very unusual, which made it even more dramatic, right? Which is polling the jury before anyone knows what the verdict is. I've never seen that before. It may happen a lot in California, it may happen a lot in other places, but on court TV, I've never seen it. They usually poll the jury after everyone knows what the verdict is. But in this case, they asked all the jurors ahead of time. All right, let's listen in.
Juror number 1, are those your true and correct verdicts? Juror number 2?
Yes.
Juror 3 and 4?
Yes.
Juror 5 and 6? Juror 5, are those your true and correct verdicts?
Yes.
Juror 6?
Yes.
All right, let's get the verdict forms to juror 7. Juror 8, look over her shoulder. Juror number 7, those are your true and correct verdicts? Juror 7?
Yes.
Juror 8?
Yes.
9 and 10? Juror 9?
Yes.
Juror 10?
Yes.
11 and 12. Juror 11?
Yes.
Juror 12?
Yes.
All right, all jurors have stated that the verdict forms reflect their individual true and correct verdicts. Alice, read the verdict.
Yes, Your Honor. The Los Angeles Superior Court, County of Los Angeles. People of the State of California versus Rakim Mayers, case number BA 508142-01. We, the jury in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Rakim Mayers, not guilty of...
I'll get the audience. Or you can ask the audience.
Another one, overtime, you'll be out of speed.
Hold it down, hold it down. The verdict has to be read on count.
Yes, sir. Repeat again. We, the jury, the above entitled action, find the defendant, Rakim Mayers, not guilty of semi-automatic firearm.
And here you see the reaction now of the defense team after ASAP Rocky dives into the gallery to demonstrate his absolute elation with that moment, hearing the words not guilty, celebrating with Rihanna, and now you see the defense team as they repeat for the record one more time that he's not guilty. And that's real. What you're looking at right there is absolutely real. It's your life in front of you. Now, whether you did it or didn't do it, the jury was not convinced that he did it, but for him, this is his life. This is his freedom. You know, for anyone, that's a lot at stake, but for a young father, that's enormous. Enormous. And for someone who's used to living at this point of his life an incredible life of luxury, to then be locked up would be incredibly drastic as well. But to me, it's that moment. You've got two children, two young children at home who you now will be able to be a part of their lives day in and day out. I want to bring in our think tank tonight, joining us with their reaction. Criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor Michael Sterling is with us. Former sex crimes prosecutor Stacey Honowitz, and defense attorney, former head prosecutor Bob Bianchi. All right. Let's talk about the reaction first before we get into the nitty-gritty. Like that moment in the courtroom, I think all of you obviously have been in those shoes of someone who has won a case, at a verdict more than once. I'll start with you, Michael. What did you think of this reaction right here, where he is like beside himself, literally diving into the front row?
Well, Vinny, I practice law in the South, and typically judges will warn everybody. And I practice in Mississippi, Texas, Georgia. I practice mostly in the South. And so typically what you have is a judge will warn people before they actually read the verdict. If you cannot control your emotions, please exit the courtroom. You might get to dap your lawyer up, have a handshake, give a hug, something that's quiet and silent. So this is a little dramatic, but this trial has been dramatic. And so, it's not surprising that the reaction to the verdict would be dramatic. But typically, you try to, no matter what the verdict is, you want your client to remain refrained, peaceful, calm, and just sort of listen to it all, because there may be more than one charge. You might hear not guilty, then you might hear something right after that doesn't make you happy. So typically you want your client to try to be refrained, but I understand it's just been a very, very dramatic trial, very different than what I'm accustomed to.